right after they announced all the features that are coming out to iOS 18, same day, I immediately installed iOS 18. So I feel jealous for people who have had the patience to actually wait for the public beta, like insane willpower. That can never be me. I'm a weak person. So since I'm a weak person, I immediately installed iOS 18 the very same day it came out. So I know a thing or two about iOS 18. So here are 5 things that you need to know about iOS 18. So number 1 are the animations. So there are some new animations that are introduced to the whole user interface of the iOS, right? And one of them, the one that I noticed immediately was the volume rocker. So if you press the volume up or the volume down, there is a smooth animation that happens just right at the edge of the screen. You notice on the first day, but after a while, it's just like one of those animations that you actually get used to. Another animation that you actually forget after a while is the flashlight. So with the flashlight, there is an animation to be able to control the width of your flashlight and the strength of the flashlight. So you can actually focus straightly in one object at a very small radius, if that makes any sense. Now, number 4, we have the calculator. So on WWDC, they introduced the new calculator for the iPad. So for the longest of time, fun fact, the iPad did not have a calculator because Apple, for some reason, said like they don't have like a special calculator to put on the iPad, but they had a calculator on the iPhone, but they say like they don't have a special one for the iPad, which didn't make any sense. But anyways, so finally, they made a calculator for the iPad, right? So they introduced that with the iPad, and they introduced that, with the Apple stylus, you can now write equation and they will solve it for you. Magic. It's nice. It's fantastic. Like, it's innovative. It's like one of those things that were actually not copied from the Android space. That was like purely Apple invention, which is pretty sweet to see. But I thought that was just for iPad. You know what I mean? I thought that was just like a special thing for the iPad Pro, the new iPad Pro to be specific. I thought that was for the new iPad Pro M4. But apparently it's for every phone. Even your iPhone can do it too. As long as it's got iOS 18, you can do it too. So on your small screen, you can actually write your equation and you can produce some answers. You can do some math on your phone, which is actually pretty cool. Number 3, we have design language. When you run it back to iOS 16 to iOS 17, that upgrade, right? There wasn't really like much difference. Like when you actually upgraded your phone from iOS 16 to iOS 17, you had to look for the differences. You had to look for the new features. But from iOS 17 to iOS 18, you actually see it like this is a whole different experience. One of the places where you can actually see the difference is on the notification shade. So on the notification shade, everything is now more rounded, if I may say. It's more rounded. It has colors now. Like, if you turn on mobile data, it has some colors to it. The volume rocker has some colors to it. And, the brightness has some colors to it. They are aesthetically cool. Debatable, but it's there. It's nice. You can actually change the colors on the volume rocker and the brightness just as a pointer. You can't really change it, but it's there. It's round. It's nice. It's cool. It's a new design. It's definitely different. Like I tell you that much. Like when you see it, it's like this is a new experience. That's the iOS 18 effect. The second place where you can see this design language is on the Photos app. So the Photos app is a completely different app right now. It's no longer the same Photos app that you used to know. It's now different. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I'm not used to it. I still haven't gotten used to it. I still struggle in navigating throughout the app. So that's a thing. So the Photos app is going to be different. And then there is a setting. So the setting has been rearranged. It is now neater. It's now more organized. It's now more elegant. The design language is nice. And you can actually see it when you enter the settings app on iOS 17 and iOS 18. You can actually see the difference. It's a new aesthetic to iOS 18 and it's nice. So shout out to that. So number 2, we have customization. You've probably seen it if you don't live under a rock. So basically, you can now change a whole bunch of stuff on iOS 18, like more than iPhone people are used to, including myself. So basically, you can now change the home screen. So firstly, the icons, they're now slightly different and you can actually change the colors of them. Pro tip, don't do that. It doesn't look nice. Like, it does not look nice. Like, there is no color that actually looks nice. Just don't do that. You can put it on dark mode or light mode. That's cool. That's fantastic. You can actually remove the labels by making the icons bigger, but you can remove the labels while the icons stay the same size. That's kind of like, a missed opportunity. But whatever you do not change the color of the icons. It's not gonna look nice. It does not look nice at all. It's just like a tint on the icon. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's a great idea. When you think about it, like, it sounds great, but like one of those things that sound great in actual practice is terrible. So you can try it out if you want to, but I guarantee you there is no way you can make it look cool. It's just terrible. So one of the things that do not make sense are the connection tab on the notification shade. So basically, they prioritized AirDrop. Like, they could have put Bluetooth there, they could have put mobile data there, but like, no, they say AirDrop. AirDrop is more important and you can't change that. So, I don't know. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. I feel like, we should have been able to actually customize that one too, but you can't. So number one, we have App Intelligence, the one that I've been waiting for. The one thing that you should be mindful about App Intelligence is that it's only coming to iPhone 15 and above. Like, anything below that, just forget about it. It's not coming to you. So that you should be aware of. So different location, because I recorded back then, and like, new updates, new Siri, but like, good morning updates. So when it comes to App Intelligence, the best iteration of it is on Siri, right? So Siri is now less useless. So like back then when you ask Siri like some bunch of question, they'll say, here's a website for what you're asking for, right? Now they do less of that. So that's great. Secondly, on App Intelligence is context. So on context, let's say like back then, when you received an email, let's say like with 10 lines or like 2 paragraphs, right? So before you read the email, they're going to tell you the name and they're going to tell you the first 2 lines of the whole email, right? But now it has context. Like, it reads the email, gives you a summary, and puts a summary right there to tell you what the email is all about. And also, because it has read everything that the email is about, it has like better responses, so better suggestions for your responses. So that is also great. Thirdly, and the one that I found the most interesting, is call recording, right? So with call recording, besides it being annoying that it has to ask the other person that you want to record a call, which makes sense, but like it is an annoying way of asking the other person that you want to record the call, is great. Because like, okay, let's say like this, right? Statistically, if you are between 30 and 20, right, you and your partner are gonna break up. Statistically, and statistically, after you break up, you're probably gonna venture into some self-destructive activities like music, right? And statistically, when you make music, you're gonna need that ambience or like the motivation to spit some bars, or like that thing that reminds you of all the good times that you had with your partner, right? And like, what better way than to replay the conversation that you had back then for ambience, statistically, of course. So yeah, that's about it. Comment your favorite feature on iOS 18. Thanks for watching. Double check that, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.